Do you have someone in your life who is constantly complaining, constantly disgruntled? Nothing is ever right. And that is what we do with our friends, right? We complain. We complain about our spouses. We complain about our friends. We complain about our neighbors. We complain about the bills and how the house isn't working right and how this broke down and I got to fix this and do that. And work is so stressful, and that's what we do with our friends, right? Or we talk about the difficult people in our lives or the stresses and the struggles, And I think sometimes it's easier to do that with a friend, but depending on the type of friendship, it could be a challenge. I think where you would find the most difficulty with somebody who incessantly complains is probably with a family member, because you take it harder. You put yourself in their shoes in a different way than you would with a friend. I think with a friend, you can be more objective and you can step back and step out of the situation and assist. But when it's your daughter, your son, your husband, your mom, your dad, somebody who is really, really close to you, it makes incessant complaining difficult, especially when it seems to be one big problem after the other. The rent is due. I can't pay my bills. I don't make enough money. This broke. That needs to be fixed. This person said this ugly thing to me at work. They're always picking on me. If you hear that every single day, there are people who are chronic complainers, right? And I don't know if you've ever experienced that with a family member where they go to the burger place and they put the lettuce under my meat, and I don't like that. I dropped the dime on the floor, so I have to pick it up. There's a piece of paper in my yard, or somebody said something rude to me today, or it never ends. Oh, I walked in the house and there was mud on my shoe. It's like their constant talk is nothing but negative problems to solve. It can make you feel a little frustrated and exhausted, especially because you want the person to feel happy, you want things to be right, and it seems like it's never right. Oh, I just got the eggs out of the carton and one of them was already cracked. And, it's like they get in this bad habit of reporting every nuance, every negativity. And that can be tiring, because it's like, okay, can we ever talk about something positive that's happening? Do you need everything fixed? Can you keep a little bit of that to yourself? But everything is terrible, and you're thinking, I have problems too. So imagine when I heard the term trauma dumping, I thought, trauma dumping? Wow, that is the coolest word. And it's like these days there are so many psychological terms out there that everybody knows about, and so it kind of helps because we can all talk about some of the same things. But what do you think of trauma dumping and what that means? Well, I thought that trauma dumping and incessant complaining were the same things, but they can share some similarities, but they are not the same and fall under different contexts. So I just wanted to talk to you guys today about this word. So trauma dumping, the focus involves sharing deep emotional pain, traumatic experiences, or distressing memories, often without regard for the listener's capacity to process that information. Emotional depth typically goes beyond mere complaining, as it deals with significant emotional burdens and may require a compassionate response. Incessant complaining, on the other hand, the focus involves expressing dissatisfaction or annoyance about various aspects of life, such as work, relationships, or daily inconveniences. Emotional depth often lacks the profound emotional weight associated with trauma. It can be more about venting frustrations than sharing deep-seated pain. Common ground. Both behaviors can be emotionally draining for listeners, and both may stem from a need for validation or support. However, the key difference lies in the nature of the content being shared. Trauma dumping is often about serious emotional struggles, while incessant complaining is more about ongoing dissatisfactions or irritations. Managing both. So, for both situations, setting boundaries and encouraging healthier communication patterns are important. It may be helpful to guide the person towards finding solutions or seeking professional help if their complaints or trauma sharing become overwhelming. So, if you feel like trauma dumping, number one, reflect on your emotions. Consider journaling or discussing your feelings with a therapist rather than a friend. Two, ask for permission. Before sharing, check in with the person to see if they're in a space to listen. Three, balance sharing. Try to keep conversations reciprocal. Share your feelings, but also invite the other person to talk about their experiences. And four, seek professional support. If you find yourself consistently wanting to share heavy experiences, it might be beneficial to seek help from a mental health professional. Ultimately, communication about emotional needs and boundaries is key to maintaining healthy relationships while navigating the complexities of trauma and emotional expression. And there is such a thing as compassion fatigue, which therapists or people in the healthcare industry may experience at times, where you just feel like you almost are like, okay, am I a narcissist? Because I can't hear anymore of this negativity. Like I just can't deal with it. It's like your box is full and there's nowhere else to put anything else, because you're going into empathy mode, you're going into problem solving mode, and you just feel like, look, I got problems too, and I cannot handle this. Hearing like a ton of incessant complaining or trauma dumping, because I don't want to feel what you're feeling. Empathic people tend to feel what others feel. So when they're hearing all this information, they're taking it into their own psyche and their own body, and it can have an impact on them. So sometimes they just are like, I can't. Like, I have no more capacity to take any more of this because I got my own problems. Not that your problems aren't important, but when this goes on for decades of the same issue, my house is always a mess. My dog is always shedding fur all over my house. And at a certain point, you have to start finding solutions. And I think also incessant complaining can become habitual, and it could just be a habit. But let me know your thoughts on trauma dumping and incessant complaining, because I'm just curious. And, there are times when I want to help people and I enjoy helping them work through their issues and problems, but I'm no different from the next person. Sometimes when it's family, you take it more personally, and it's hard to, listen as effectively because you feel so horrible for the person. So let me know how you handle this, and if you like the term trauma dumping. I kind of like it. Let us know. And if you're struggling with relationship issues, guess what? I took the time to write a whole book about it. So if you have somebody that's trauma dumping or they're incessantly complaining, tell them, check this book out on love. It's going to help you with your love life and the problems that you're having, so that you can have a better love life once and for all. And if they're complaining about the narcissist in their life, I wrote a book for them too. It's called The Workplace NaRCISSiST. And don't let the workplace title fool you. It's about narcissists and how to handle them and understanding them better. So tell them, read her book. It's going to help you. And if they just don't seem to be able to get along with anybody, it might be because they don't understand people's personalities. Well, I wrote a book called From ENFJ with Love, which focuses on all 16 Myers-Briggs personality types, and it's going to help them understand people better, those tough personalities or people who are a little bit more all over the place. So check those out. I'll put the link in the description box. And I'm so happy you joined me today. Be sure to subscribe so that we can go on this journey together. I love you guys so much, and I will see you on the next video. Be sure to like this one and let me know in the comments what you think. Bye.